Hi folks, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're here with this Rover 4-stroke lawnmower where it won't start unless you put a bit of starting fluid or petrol straight into the carburetor. That's because the primer has failed. So today we're going to show you how to fix the issue where the primer fails on this type of carburetor, typically on your Briggs 5.0 lawnmower. So let's get into it. So let's have a closer look at this priming issue and what's going on in behind the carburetor here. So we start by undoing the main screw there. And then with that screw undone, we can just fold that housing and we'll get that filter out as well, out of the way. Now at this point, I'll just get you into a good position, but you can see that if I press the primer, there is just no fuel at all squirting into the carburetor. So the next thing we're going to do is grab a 5/16 socket, and we've got 3 screws we're going to take out, and that's just going to get the faceplate to this carburetor off, which has got the whole priming mechanism on it. So with those 3 screws loose, we've got the whole faceplate loose, but let's get this top piece of plastic shrouding off as well. That's just got a Phillips head on this one. Different mowers may just have a few extra pieces of plastic around them that you may have to remove, but there you see you've got that off there, and we can see straight here into the faceplate. So let's also get the throttle cable off so we can fully get into this. The fortunate thing about when you take the throttle cables off, they've always left marking on the cable so you can see very easily where the original spot was. So with the faceplate off, we can see we've got this little bit of a gasket in here, so we should be able to pull that off just carefully. Just like that. It actually looks in reasonable condition. Now the next thing I'm going to do is we're actually just going to give this a bit of a thorough clean with the old degreaser. So with that backing plate all cleaned up, let's disassemble the actual primer bulb. Now you can see we've got these 2 plastic tabs. You can actually get a proper special tool. I don't have one, but you just can put your screwdriver in that notch and then just release it from the plastic, and then that will come out. So let's get in there now. Just release that like that and come around on this side and do the same thing. Just release that as well. Just so you can see there. There we go. And then we can just pop that all the way out at the same time. And just being careful not to damage that primer bulb. Now straight away we can actually see there's a little bit of debris on the bottom of that, so I just want to clean up everything. Check the condition. The primer bulb's not actually split, so we really just want to give everything a thorough clean. No point putting a new primer bulb in if it's not split, but you can see all that debris is going to be causing air leaks. So let's give everything a thorough clean. We'll also grab a pick. We'll see if we can get that screen out, but you can see in there, get everything cleaned up really nice. All right, so just grab this pick here like this, and we'll just get in there like that and just catch the screen. There we go. Pop that screen out like that. Now we'll just get the degreaser. We'll give everything just a thorough clean through here. And if we just squirt straight in, you can see that that cavity is nice and free through there. See that? We'll just give the primer bulb a thorough clean up as well. And the screen while we're here. so with that all thoroughly clean, what we can do now is reassemble. So put that screen back in, just press that in like that. Then importantly, we need to pop the primer bulb back in. So we'll just put the primer bulb back in like that. Now to press the primer bulb in, I am going to use a socket. There's probably a special tool, but we just want to line up the tabs to start with so that they're roughly in the right spot. Grab my socket, and then we'll just press that and just bring that in so it just clicks into position. There, just like that. And you can see that's in position nicely. And now, when you press that, you can hear that primer's working correctly. If I get some soapy water, we can probably even give that a test. So if I just spray some soapy water in here like that, you can see straight away that primer bulb is actually working now. And then what actually happens is the air from the primer bulb goes in this little hole here. So I just want to test that we don't have any blockages here. So just spray some carb cleaner in that hole there. And then straight away, looking inside, you can see it's actually priming correctly. So we've got the primer function working correctly on the faceplate. We know, as I just showed you, that it's working correctly in the carburetor. So the next thing, these faceplates can warp a little bit. So a little trick which I do is to put 2 gaskets in there. So I've got 2 brand new gaskets here. I don't want to risk the old gasket, which has got a few little dents in it. So let's put 2 brand new gaskets, just double it up, and that's just to take up any slight warpage that there might be in the faceplate. I'll put a link to where you can get these really cheap. It's really cost effective, so it doesn't cost you a fortune. So let's get those in now on the actual faceplate. And you can see we need a really good seal on that rubber that goes all the way around there. So let's get that one on just like this. Push that in nicely, and then we'll get the second one on top as well. So with those gaskets on, let's get the faceplate mounted back up. Just get this in just under there, and make sure we get all of those lines reattached as they should be. And get that throttle cable back on as well. So let's give it a test prime now. Oh yeah, and straight away we can see we've got a really good prime happening now. All right, so let's see if she'll start now. So give her a few primes and turn that key. So there we go, folks. That has solved the problem. So let's get it all back together and we'll be good to go. So let's pop the top cover back on and the air filter back in. So just pop him in just like that, and grab our screwdriver, and then this top cover sits in there nicely. And for good measure, let's give it a test start again. So give it a few more primes, set it to the run position and turn that key. And just like that, we've solved that priming issue with this carburetor on this Briggs Stratton 50 engine. So if you have liked the video, give us a like, drop us a comment down below. It's truly appreciated. And in the future, if you're interested in learning more about DIY maintenance on lawnmowers, we've got Victor 2-strokes, bunch of 4-strokes. We also do automobiles on the channel. We've got the Mercedes, the Audi, the Mazda 3, the early Ford Falcon. So if you're interested in that content, do subscribe to the channel. But until next time, have a good evening.